Early signs of insulin resistance often emerge so quietly that many people fail to recognize them until the problem has already begun to compromise their energy, mood, and metabolism. Subtle clues such as slightly elevated fasting glucose, unexplained fatigue, or recurring sugar cravings are not random inconveniences. They're the body's early alarm system, signaling that cells are becoming less responsive to insulin's commands. Insulin is the hormone responsible for shuttling glucose from the bloodstream into the cells, where it is used for energy. When this communication begins to break down, glucose starts to linger in the blood while cells struggle to receive the fuel they need. This mismatch is what we call insulin resistance, and if ignored, it can quietly evolve into prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, and a host of related metabolic disorders. The warning here cannot be overstated. Insulin resistance doesn't appear suddenly. It develops slowly, often over years of dietary imbalance, chronic stress, poor sleep, or inactivity. At first, the pancreas compensates by producing more insulin to overcome the cell's resistance. For a time, this works, keeping blood sugar readings within normal limits. But as the condition progresses, insulin levels remain high for longer periods, and the cells continue to resist its effects. This results in a vicious cycle. Elevated insulin promotes fat storage, especially around the abdomen, while excess fat tissue further worsens insulin sensitivity. Over time, this pattern also triggers inflammation and oxidative stress, damaging blood vessels and organs. What begins as mild fatigue or sugar cravings can eventually manifest as serious metabolic instability. Yet this process, while concerning, is also highly reversible in its early stages. The body is remarkably adaptable. Given the right signals through diet, movement, and rest, it can restore insulin sensitivity and metabolic balance. The most powerful intervention begins with regular physical activity. Exercise acts like a natural insulin sensitizer. Even a single session increases glucose uptake by muscle cells. A consistent routine of at least 150 minutes per week, roughly 30 minutes a day of brisk walking, cycling, swimming, or strength training, significantly improves the body's ability to regulate glucose without needing excess insulin. Strength training, in particular, builds lean muscle, which acts as a glucose sponge, storing energy efficiently and preventing sugar from remaining in the bloodstream. For those who are sedentary or new to exercise, even smaller daily bouts of movement, such as 10-minute walks after meals, can begin reversing insulin resistance by encouraging muscles to use glucose immediately after eating. Equally important is nutrition, which should focus on stabilizing blood sugar rather than spiking it. A Mediterranean-style diet provides an ideal model. It emphasizes whole, minimally processed foods rich in fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats. This includes an abundance of vegetables, legumes, fruits in moderation, whole grains, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and lean proteins such as fish and poultry. These foods work synergistically to slow glucose absorption, reduce inflammation, and improve the function of insulin receptors on cells. In particular, the inclusion of monounsaturated fats from sources like olive oil, avocado, and nuts supports both heart health and insulin sensitivity, as these fats help reduce triglyceride levels and improve cholesterol balance. Fiber intake is crucial, serving as the unsung hero of metabolic health. Aiming for 25 to 30 grams per day can profoundly affect blood sugar stability. Soluble fiber, found in foods such as beans, oats, apples, flax seeds, and lentils, slows digestion and the release of glucose into the bloodstream, preventing the rapid surges that overwork insulin. It also nourishes beneficial gut bacteria, which play a surprisingly important role in regulating glucose and inflammation. Gradually increasing fiber intake over time, rather than abruptly, allows your digestive system to adjust comfortably and ensures consistent results. Equally vital is minimizing foods that promote insulin resistance. Refined carbohydrates, sugary beverages, and ultra-processed snacks rapidly elevate blood glucose and force the body into an endless loop of insulin spikes. Over time, this constant stimulation desensitizes insulin receptors, creating a state of chronic metabolic confusion. Replacing these foods with whole, slow-digesting alternatives, for example, swapping white bread for sprouted grains or soda for sparkling water with lemon, helps reset the body's internal glucose rhythm. Consistency is key. It is not a matter of strict deprivation, but of steady, deliberate choices that retrain the metabolism to function efficiently again. Sleep and stress management are often the overlooked pillars of insulin sensitivity. Chronic sleep deprivation, even just a few nights of less than 6 hours, has been shown to impair glucose metabolism and elevate insulin levels. During deep sleep, the body repairs tissues, balances hormones, and recalibrates metabolic function. Without sufficient rest, cortisol, the stress hormone, remains high, driving both hunger and fat storage, especially around the midsection. Similarly, prolonged psychological stress keeps cortisol elevated throughout the day, which competes with insulin's action, making glucose control more difficult. Mindful breathing, meditation, yoga, and consistent relaxation routines can lower cortisol and improve both mental and metabolic resilience. Hydration and timing of meals also matter. Water supports glucose transport and helps kidneys flush out excess sugar. Drinking sufficient water throughout the day, and especially before meals, improves metabolic efficiency. Meanwhile, spreading meals evenly and avoiding long fasting periods, unless medically supervised, prevents extreme hunger and overcompensation during the next meal. Eating at regular times helps stabilize insulin production and keeps blood sugar in a manageable range. The warning must be taken seriously. Early insulin resistance may not cause dramatic symptoms, but it is silently reshaping how your body stores and uses energy. Fatigue after meals, brain fog, irritability, or sugar cravings are all subtle indicators that your blood sugar balance is slipping. Ignoring these signs can lead to years of quiet metabolic strain that eventually manifests as chronic disease. However, the positive side of this story is that early recognition allows for full reversal. Unlike advanced diabetes, early insulin resistance is completely manageable, even curable, through consistent lifestyle adjustments that restore balance to the system. With just a few months of improved nutrition, regular exercise, and adequate rest, insulin sensitivity can be dramatically enhanced. Blood sugar readings often normalize, energy levels rise, and cravings diminish. People often notice weight naturally redistributing, particularly around the waist, as inflammation decreases and the body learns once again to use glucose efficiently. The skin may appear clearer, mood steadier, and mental sharpness restored. These improvements are not superficial. They are biological evidence that the body's cellular communication is healing. The practical path forward is both simple and sustainable. Fill your plate with real food, move your body daily, sleep deeply, and manage stress consciously. Think of insulin sensitivity as your body's language of balance. When it speaks clearly, energy flows freely, appetite remains stable, and recovery is quick. When it falters, everything from digestion to cognition begins to suffer. Listening early, before the warning signs grow louder, allows you to intervene while the body is still highly responsive. Ultimately, early insulin resistance is not a sentence, it's a signal. It's the body's way of asking for better care, for food and habits that nourish rather than overwhelm it. Responding to that call with consistency, patience, and mindfulness can reverse the course completely. By treating these small imbalances today, you protect yourself from the exhaustion, inflammation, and disease that might otherwise await in the future. The body, given the right environment, is always willing to return to balance, and insulin sensitivity, once restored, becomes one of the strongest shields against metabolic aging and decline.